Testing, testing. 1, 3, 5. Anybody out there? Some peace. Alright, so dramatic music aside, I think we might be good to go. How is the audio? I'm even turn in here. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty Gucci for the most part. Yeah, Patel, it's a crazy chapter. Yes, I've been kind of hearing based on, I mean, all the thumbnails and titles and like I haven't been like completely spoiled or anything, but at the same time, I kind of have idea what's going to happen. So should be interesting. Anyway, welcome everyone. Sanjay Uchiha here, your friendly neighborhood Uchiha. Of course, welcome back to the channel where today will be, or tonight, we'll be tackling my reaction slash review on Boruto Manga Chapter 66. I think the audio and video is looking pretty good. Of course, it's a reaction and review in one for the, the purpose, all intents and purposes, for the persons who will be rewatching this stream once it goes up after the stream is done. Of course, if you're just here for the review portion, you can skip to the the later portion of the video. So yeah, respect. Of course, leave a like and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below when it comes on to this chapter, because as Patel is saying already, this chapter is is looking crazy. So yeah, how's the audio and video on you guys' side? I think it should be good. Yeah, based on how it looks on my phone at least. So yeah, all right, so without wasting any time, chapter 66, and of course you can see the title already, Do or Die. Hold on. Of course we want to put this in vertical because we hardly get any two-page spread, so no need to go horizontal for the most part. Live and running, Sid. Alright, so let's go. Creator supervisor Masashi Kishimoto, art. Of course, still no reference to him writing, but whatever. Alright, so you want to protect Lord Hokage, right? You need more power to deal with Code, enough to take him down. So take it for yourself. Brand new power in the form of a karma that's purely a weapon. You have the base criteria, and I can make it happen. It's all up to you, Kawaki. The choice is in your hands. Yo, the boss even have Ishiki eye technique, which makes sense. What the heck? How does he have karma again? I guess Kawaki didn't have a choice. Looks like Amado never intended to let Kawaki decide whether he wanted karma back or not. He'd already finished reconstructing it. What? But when? He knew that Kawaki would hunger for more power. He probably restored karma when he replaced Kawaki's right hand, which makes sense. All that was left was to motivate him to want it. Oh, so it's kind of like a psychological mind game. Just kind of plant the seeds of, make Kawaki eventually gonna think about it. I mean, he was already kind of thinking about it based on the sparring match he had with the rest of Team 7. So just a little sprinkle here and there, and boom. Where we have Splinter Cell Wagwan. That chapter was very good. I wasn't spoiled by any people. There's no joy when you read spoilers from the manga, at least for me. Yeah, that's true. What I usually do, Splinter, is like just organic dinosaurs. Not like her. I know she usually posts in-depth spoilers, but I usually skip those over for the sake of like. She usually has some tweets when she just like, this percentage of the chapter is this. No specific details, so I usually go for those. And when I do like my spoiler coverage videos, quote unquote, that's what I usually cover. Not the in-depth spoilers like everybody else that like does like initial spoiler videos, then in-depth spoiler videos, then chapter reaction videos, and then it kind of feels like it would be exhausting for me to do all of that. Anyway, which means he used us to be the final push to awaken Kawaki's power. He's talking with someone. he has an ally somewhere. Of course, Kawaki looking at the hand. Kawaki. What a surprise. It's not usually possible for a karma that is lost to manifest again. Is this that geezer Amado's doing? What is he scheming? Yeah, Manale, Kawaki look fresh. Manale. You fool. Go on. Just keep letting yourself be used by others until you get fed to 10 tails. Yo! Yo! Man, pull out the Daikoku 10. Yo! Kawaki going in already. That jutsu is. Alright. Going off. Momoshiki dodging. Yo, the man I pull out the Daikoku. Yo, right now. Kawaki. Yo, the man is OP. I'm pulling out the cubes. This power, it's just like, yeah, Daikokuten, which lets the user retrieve things from another dimension, and even Sukuna Ikona, which shrinks various objects. Trying to make Kawaki into a, wait, is Amado trying to make Kawaki into a second Ishiki? Yo, I see. I'm starting to understand. Kawaki, what's going on? Those abilities. No, more importantly, shouldn't you be focusing on staying still, Lord Seventh? Not that I care what happens to him. Kawaki, how far are you planning to go? I'll do what needs to be done for you. Yo. Of course, Momoshiki coming out. Rasengan. And I assume he absorbed it or shrank it, but it looks more like absorb. I'm busting the fire style, absorb it, kick. Yo, no, cool. Yo, the fact that Kawaki has really become accustomed to the powers already. Man, just shrink. Yo, appear behind, dodge. Yo, this guy looks sick when he get animated in like 2023, more than likely. There's a dodge, kick. Wait. Duck, kick. I guess Kawaki got that, but okay. Throws. Yo, well on. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me so far is the fact that he has pieces of it, like his scientific, I mean, he's a cyborg, his scientific nature tool, you know, augmentations, when he like throws them off. So he's pulling these back to this dimension using Daikokuten, but it would make sense that he would have had to shrink them first for them to get there. So I'm wondering, how is he pulling them like to this dimension instantly like that? So that's like the only like discrepancy I see so far, but it's still cool. Kawaki going in. Okay, so Momoshi gets out of the way. Yo, a lot of speed lines as per usual though. Momoshi going through. Yo, Rasengan. Clash. Yo, dog. Punch. Well, this Borushiki. Alright, hits him down. Then Borushiki dodges. Daikokuten again. And then Daikokuten again with Sukuna Ikona. Hey. Yo, the man. Oh, hold on. Game over. Yo. Ooh, Naruto coming in for the save. Ah, the Hokage moved. But forget it. There's no point in killing you now. Let's wait. See. Let's see what you guys are saying. Borushiki was dodging the rods that Naruto and Sasuke couldn't even detect. You know, that is a good point. That says a lot about Borushiki, or maybe Kawaki's nerf because he's 80% Otsutsuki. Yeah, that is a good point. It's really hard to say. Honestly, it could go either way, but I'm more inclined to say it's more. It builds up. It makes Borushiki look good. Until stated otherwise, I don't think the speed at which Kawaki is like using Daikokuten, like the whole shrinking, restoring it back to the same size, bringing them back from the other dimension. I don't think the speed is affected by the fact that it's 80% just yet. But I mean, if they state otherwise, then fine. You see me? That's enough, Kawaki. Are you really planning to kill him? I told you, I'm doing what needs to be done. It's do or die now. Don't be ridiculous. He's my son. Yes, but at the same time, he's a demon who's targeting your life. Have you lost your mind? You're the one who's being a demon. That doesn't matter. The real issue here is that you aren't able to do it yourself, so I'll do it. Move aside, Lord Seventh. You've got to be joking. Cool your head, Kawaki. You're the one who needs to face reality. There's no other way. Man say, yo, relax. Boruto. Gah, he's woken up already. Boruto, are you back with us? Damn, brat. You should stay asleep for your own good. You stay asleep. Quit interfering. Amado's meds do seem to work. I've been able to control Momoshiki's power to an extent, but it's only temporary. It's far from a solution. I mean, look at what just happened. Talk about some awful side effects. I came this close to killing my own dad. Boruto, do you remember what I said to you once? I'll somehow get rid of your karma. I swear it. Oh yeah, I remember. And I've come to realize today that we're gonna have to go through with our last resort plan. Yeah, unfortunately. This is a nice like double, this page with, Boruto on one side. Alright, before I make any assumptions, let's just continue with the chapter. Hold on a minute, what are you talking about? I'm sorry, Dad. Give my best to Mom and Hima. Wait, no, wait. What are you planning to do? Don't do anything rash. Wind style, Gale Palm. Alright, blows Naruto aside. I take it you're ready, Boruto. You're the only one I can ask this of. So while my mind is still holding Momoshiki at bay, do it, bro. Alright. You start right through Boruto. Shit. Dog. Alright. And let me guess, the chapter ends there. Of course, of course, of course. Alright, so what can I say about this chapter? Yo, honestly, between last chapter and this chapter, the first chapter of 2022, chapter 66, this was definitely a very like interesting chapter. I feel like my initial thoughts, like now more than ever, when it comes on to like, at least Boruto and Kawaki being the ones to like truly be carrying the story right now. It definitely, like, I definitely get that vibe from actually seeing like Kawaki and Borushiki going at it with this chapter. Definitely a solid one to say the least. When it comes on to, I mean, I could like praise the choreography, but just seeing Kawaki even use Ishiki's moves is like, I don't know, it's just something like just unique. And I mean, we've seen all these techniques before, obviously, but just having them in Kawaki's hands and seeing how he actually uses them, I'm not gonna lie, it really is interesting to say the least. I mean, just how it goes in between mixing, Sukuna Ikona, Daikokuten, and just the teachings he's gotten from Naruto already, mixing with the fire style and his augmentations as a scientific ninja weapon, like a a cyborg essentially. Like it's makes me look forward to actually seeing this chapter animated. Unfortunately, we won't get this chapter animated. Best case scenario, probably towards the end of the year, or the time frame that makes the most sense is obviously 2023, unfortunately. But anyway, Again, yo, so choreography and just seeing Kawaki actually make use of Ishiki's moves definitely it definitely adds to how immersed I was in this chapter, to say the least. Of course, when it comes on to what this means for the long term, when it comes down to Kawaki and the fact that he has karma now, like fully, and more than like he'll be able to like tap into it without much of a problem. This kind of escalates Kawaki. I mean, granted, even when before he lost karma initially, I did do a power skill video on Kawaki, given his level 2 karma state and all the logical or educated guesses I could make in terms of what Ishiki's power in Kawaki's hands via hit karma actually means. And it's just the same. My stance on it is just the same as it was before, but probably even worse in a good way, if you know what I mean. The fact remains is that with Ishiki's power, even at 80% of Ishiki's cells, it stands to reason that anything that Ishiki could do, he's eventually going to be able to unlock, and that's what we saw in this chapter. And if it is like how we can probably guess, Ishiki more than likely his power is 80% of his power is added on to Kawaki. This makes Kawaki easily like, I don't know, top 3 in the verse right now. I mean, probably experience is one thing, but the fact that karma, once you really use it the proper way, you can gain the experience of the Otsutsuki. Granted, I don't know if this still applies to Kawaki's quote-unquote artificial karma, but if that's the case, I mean, using experience as a way to probably defeat Kawaki probably isn't going to amount to much, because the fact that he was even keeping up with Momoshiki like that is like, granted, I mean, he's trained either way, so it's like, yeah. But I guess we'll find out the ins and outs of his artificial karma. We're still willing to bet that he still gains the experience of Ishiki, muscle memory or somehow via the cells, and probably he'll be able to still have the experience and all that jazz and blues. Now Amado is the next big thing when it comes on to this chapter. Of course, this man is playing mind games with everybody. I'm coming to the comments here soon in the chat. Amado, again, this isn't really cementing that he's full on evil per se, but obviously he, as I've pointed out in even videos leading up to this chapter, that Amado, or at least my Boruto 2022 video, Amado is going to be like one of the final pieces of the puzzle, or at least a big factor in like us finding out where the story is going to go long term when it comes on to at least 2022. Because even in this chapter where we see Momoshiki, or at least Code, or everybody else asking is what's Amado up to? Is he trying to make Kawaki the next Ishiki? Of course, Amado's long-term goals are going to really affect the direction which his story is going to go, and just how the characters kind of dissected between Ida, basically dissecting how probably Amado went about going for this result with Kawaki awakening karma here. It really kind of tells or shows up more of how Amado is playing like 4D chess, as the community would say, or he really is thinking long term. He's more of like a psychological chess player in this whole thing. So I think that really says something for his character. If the planting of this I don't want to say suggestion, but planting of this thought in Kawaki's mind from early, if it was like a psychological move on his part, like an intentional psychological move, if that really is the case, it really does something for his character, or more, I would say, emphasize what we already know about his character, because of course it's a model, this man is playing long term, obviously. So definitely that is definitely a plus on this chapter. Of course, in terms of like emotional conflict and all that, it's so weird seeing, like, I mean, Naruto is essentially like a bystander in this chapter. Let me kind of just scroll back, because I want to kind of reanalyze how Ikemoto kind of portrayed Naruto in terms of the expression on his face when Kawaki saying like, I'm gonna do what needs to be done. Like, I mean, it's the typical, shock, surprise, concern, worry. But I think the expressions on Naruto's face, and between that and probably the OST they'll use for this, will... like, I wasn't really... Like, I can understand, I can empathize with Naruto, but based on the art, I wasn't really... feeling much of the emotional, like I can see and obviously see the emotional conflict that's there, but I think this scene, when it comes on to Naruto's role in these scenes, I'll probably empathize and feel more of the emotional conflict a bit more. So when it comes on to the anime, when it gets animated, but I mean, even like this panel here, like, like I'm not gonna like bash it completely. There are some panels here that's like you can see Naruto's like, yo, dog, Jano, what's gonna happen? Like, I don't even know what to expect next, you know? So it's not all bad when it comes on to that with this chapter. Um of course, like depending on how this goes, I'm interested to see how the dynamic between Naruto and Kawaki is going to go after this. There was a theory I had back when Baryon mode was just introduced, when we still thought Naruto was going to die. My theory was that Kawaki would potentially using the power of like the karma would would basically somehow use between Sukuna Ikon and Daikokuten to seal Naruto in, like, the Daikokuten dimension, dimension without time, to basically save Naruto's life. Obviously that Naruto isn't dying anymore, but with Kawaki having the abilities once more, I wouldn't be surprised if Kishi somehow finds a play on the abilities to somehow make Kawaki seal Naruto in the Daikokuten dimension. So there is that. That aside, no, the matter of Boruto and Kawaki and their quote unquote plan that, of course, we never actually got to see on screen, like the last resort, which at first glance, yes, it's easy to see that, probably talked about, having Kawaki be the one to kill Boruto, and the fact that Boruto said to Naruto, give my regards to my mother and sister. I mean, at first glance, it could be that, but I am going to say it might be more than that, and maybe it's just some sort of grand plan, grand distraction for Boruto to fake his death to leave the village. I think that's what most persons are going to be doing videos on more than likely, because the whole killing Boruto as a last resort seems like the straightforward, easy way. Or at the very least, if it isn't an intentional plan to fake his death, then obviously Boruto will survive. I mean, Boruto, it's his story. He'll survive, and then nobody will realize, and he'll take it upon himself to leave the village, and maybe Sasuke might be the only one to actually realize, and maybe Naruto learns about it at some point, something along the lines of that. Of course, Boruto actually deciding to actually go ahead with this plan, it's more, how should I put it? It's more continuing of his conviction from the Ishiki fight, where he was willing to kill himself either way. So this isn't really out of character for him either way. So it's, I mean, just in case some persons will be saying this kind of come out of nowhere, not necessarily when it comes on to Boruto's character and what he already, convinced himself of what really needed to happen for the most part. I mean, Kishimoto has done a decent job through the slower chapters, between chapters 55 and 63, 62, to kind of explore more so of the character of like Boruto and all that jazz for the most part, to kind of slow down, kind of look into Boruto's psyche and what he's convinced that he needs to do. So I think it's more so in character with stuff we've seen before, so it's not really out of nowhere, really and truly. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty decent chapter. I mean, between last chapter and this, I mean, 2022 for Boruto is looking like it's going to be, well, at least the manga at least the manga is going to be absolutely insane. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying now. This is part one, Kawaki. I imagine time to Kawaki. Oh my gosh, what a chapter. Amado planned this when Kawaki lost karma. Kawaki didn't have a choice at the end. Yeah, smartest thing for them to do is keep Boruto dead, or at least out of the picture for a bit. Then they can focus on getting Saramiski some development. That wouldn't be a bad idea, but I don't think it's a case that they necessarily have to keep him out of the story. I mean, I did do a video that all they really need to do is present present everything that's happened to them essentially. I mean, in that video, I kind of was leaning more along the lines of Sarada and Mitsuki meeting Borushiki, but I mean, again, but at the same time, yeah, this all of this that's happening is going to really push Sarada and Mitsuki. I wouldn't mind getting like a whole chapter, just dedicated to them, get some more screen time, because this is, I mean, maybe you do have a point, Christian, because this is more so the Boruto and Kawaki show. And if Boruto is out of commission for a little bit of time, it would allow some development for Sarada and Mitsuki. See, this narrative become the Sakura. Yeah, alright. To be honest, I don't know if this would be objective or not. I think this is more of a subjective thing. But I think a lot of us were expecting to get. I think a lot of us were expecting to see Naruto actually fight. That's the thing. I think a lot of us were actually expecting that, since this would be his first fight since Baryon mode, and everybody's like styling and disrespecting the man. In this sounds like disrespecting him in a good way. Can I put it like that? And I think a lot of us were looking forward to having Naruto prove everybody in universe and us the audience otherwise to say, oh yeah, I lost Karan, but I'm still I'm still OP, isn't it? But he's become a bystander. And it's ridiculous. I get it. Almost kill Boruto to prevent Momoshiki to incarnate in Boruto, but that will not help because Momo will travel to save himself and heal Boruto with what's Boruto now. How will they get rid? Yeah, let's go to some mystery, save himself. We'll start the MS incoming. Yeah, more than likely we'll get Mangekyo Sharingan Sarada at some point. So and then yeah, I mean, but didn't they say it's a case where even like a dead body, the karma would still like be able to resurrect in? Even though I know when Amado just came to the village, they were saying probably killing Boruto might be the only option. But I could have sworn they said, like for example, when Jigen's body got burnt to a crisp, like medically died, like Ishiki could still resurrect in it. So I'm curious about that. Very curious about that. Doom. But I mean, what Christian was saying in the chat here, guys, he might have a point. This might be a good opportunity for Sarada and Mitsuki. But I think going forward, I mean, if Borushiki is down for now, then I'm interested in seeing how things go between Kawaki and Naruto, as I said. Or at least what's gonna happen now with Code Shikamaru. I mean, Code doesn't really have a major need for Shikamaru anymore. I mean, he could still try and capture Kawaki, but right now it would feel like the odds are kind of against him if he tried doing that. So I could potentially even see Code retreating for next chapter more than likely. Or maybe kidnapping Boruto's body, who knows? Because I mean, still Otsutsuki DNA, right? So that could potentially work. Just to kind of even backtrack, as I said, my only discrepancy with how even the fight went in this chapter for the most part was just Kawaki's use of Daikokuten and Sukuna Hikona at some points, because as I said, it's not like with Ishiki where the cubes are already in the dimension, he just brings them back for the most part. But in some cases where Kawaki was firing out like pieces of his body for the most part, yeah, it's not like he shrank them and stored them there before. So yeah, unless he's firing somehow, like firing off miniature like pieces of his body, shrinking them instantly, and it just that's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only like discrepancy. Unless I'm missing some details, like here when Momoshiki's firing off the shurikens, No, oh yeah, Kawaki just seems like he shrinks them here. Yeah. Yeah, that's the only discrepancy. But it's not like anything to really like kill kill the chapter for the most part. Um so yeah. This was a twist I did not expect. Yo, Akil. What's up, man? What's up? Um like honestly, like we say every month, anything can happen at this point. Anything. It is interesting that how, right now, like Kawaki is like, what makes it more interesting is that even if, say, going into the next chapter, say Code decides to retreat, say he grabs Boruto's body, retreats with Boruto's body, Naruto, Shikamaru, and Kawaki goes back to the village. Right now, Kawaki's more so what this chapter essentially establishes, which is a plus. It kind of puts Kawaki more so in the driver's seat. Like with the amount of power he has, he can actually push the plot along instead of just waiting right now. So that kind of sets up a lot of things coming out of this whole fight with Code and Momoshiki. So whether it be some conflict between Naruto and Kawaki or whatever the case may be, and think like Kawaki can literally drive the narrative, even if like say Boruto is like out of commission right now. The man can go rogue. I don't even think Naruto can beat him, honestly. But that's depends on if we get any like more like nuance to Kawaki's artificial karma. Does he have a time limit? Is he really drawing on? Well, obviously he's drawing on the power of like 80% of his Shiki. So yeah. Which I cannot revive if Boruto dies. If a vessel dies before execution, then else he will die. Yeah, I figure more than less. It's just that my only, I wouldn't want to say disagree, but the only thing that kind of feels like is conflicting in my head about that is just Jigen's body basically medically dying. The reason why Ishiki was able to revive her Jinyo die was due to the fact she completed a certification. Oh, well, alright, fair enough. Good point. Fair point. Fair point. That actually makes sense. Boruto Manga Chapter, and that's a good sign. If everything are almost will be explained, that was established for a near future. Remember that year when Shizuna, Kakashi, Jiraiya, and Itachi died in the same year? Yeah, I remember. I remember that. I could not forget. But as I said, between last chapter and this chapter, it really is setting up things for the Boruto manga. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to seeing how next chapter goes. This chapter was another solid one. Maybe as I go through and watch other persons like reviews and all that jazz and blues, maybe I'll pick up something I missed. I mean, it's mostly fighting for this chapter, which yeah. So yeah, but I am still kind of personally disappointed, as you were saying, Sid. I wanted to actually see Naruto get a piece of the action, and of course, Sasuke still has not shown up. So I'm wondering how it's actually going to go with him, if he's even going to get involved right now. And it's just funny how like Boruto's like, yo, Yell and push Naruto aside. I still don't see time skip nowhere near soon. Yeah, like, that's a funny part about all of this. Like each chapter we get is like, time skip doesn't seem like it's coming and it's going further. It's being pushed further and further away. As you guys know, my prediction for the time skip was about chapter 69, if not chapter 70. But the way things are looking right now, I might have to push that to probably even chapter 70, 75 maybe. Honestly. Because again, it does depend on how next chapter goes for the most part. But all in all, I thought this was a solid chapter. Definitely good. Love the fight between Kawaki and Borushiki for the most part. It's very immersive, very entertaining, very cool seeing Kawaki use Ishiki's abilities. Of course, just a little plus on our emphasis on the long-term planning on Amado's character and how he himself is going to be a major part in determining where the story goes. Of course, more emphasis on the development that Boruto has got in terms of his conviction in relation to the karma seal, of course. Of course, the double meaning with Kawaki being able to, you know, sit in the driver's seat and potentially be pushing the narrative when it comes on to the chapters after this, or even when they go back to Konoha. And of course, it's going to be a source of conflict for the story. So all very interesting developments this chapter I feel has actually set up. Of course, the emotional conflict that's there as well with Naruto, you know, seeing his son quote unquote die. There's a lot of things to really like take from this chapter in terms of positives. I mean, the subjective negatives is just we probably want to see Naruto be doing more and not be the Sakura of Boruto, as Sidiki said in the chat. But of course, potentially setting things up for Boruto to, you know, head into the next stage of his story for the most part, because as I said, I think it would be too straightforward to, oh, Kawaki, kill me if things get too bad. Could be intentional on his part, or it could be setting things up for Boruto to, you know, temporarily leave the story, still have screen time, but, you know, take him out of the village, you know, go along the path of the rogue ninja, as a lot of us are probably theorizing for the most part. So all in all, solid chapter, and I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, where we actually go from here. So yeah, I guess the only thing is I would kill 10 minutes. I already have the Discord, one at a time. So I'll kill 10 minutes with you guys, and then I'll end the stream. So one at a time, 3-minute time limit. Of course, link in the description below for those who want to actually join. Hold on. I don't think I have my mic set up here. Computer moving a bit slow with all this jazz and blues that I have running. So yeah, I'll kill 10 more minutes if any of you guys want to actually join the Discord. One at a time, of course. And yeah, so let's see what more of you guys are saying in the chat. It's going to be heated. Hope it's not going to wake up the other cyborgs. Boruto will join Code and Gang. Yeah, I could potentially, as I said, I could potentially see Code just kidnapping the body in hopes of actually feeding it to the Ten Tails, and probably Ida probably getting in his way for the most part, because right now, probably even when it comes on to even Code, like say if he was going to even try to take Kawaki, it doesn't no longer makes any sense. For the most part, because of how strong Kawaki is right now, or I don't know if it's going to be a case where he'll still opt for, you know, discussion, like dialogue between the groups. Because the thing is, right now, Shikamaru knows that there's someone else involved now, so multiple persons know Code is working with somebody, so that's also a factor we have to take into consideration. Your dad, what's up, man? Oh, I don't know if he's not hearing me. Or am I not hearing him? Hold on. hold on. Output, no. We got everything set up properly here. Oh. I think I just heard you. You're that?
Okay, yeah. Yes. It was a Wi-Fi problem for me.
No pressure, no pressure. What's up, man? So, crazy chapter, right?
This chapter was very, very interesting, to say the least. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. It just sounds like you're getting your thoughts together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say this chapter was very interesting. to say the least. I really like what Kishimoto went with the decision of quote unquote killing off Boruto.
Yeah.
In this situation, I can see him. Maybe this is, I think, his route of removing Naruto and making Boruto's story himself.
Mm-hmm.
This could be the setting stone of Kawaki and Naruto's downfall.
Yeah.
Seeing Kawaki quote unquote killed his son, um, and he's like he was influenced to get the karma back, even though he vowed to never get the karma. Um, so this can really set up a relationship between not only Kawaki and Naruto, but I would say all of the villages in general. Because if they have to have five Kage something after the situation, right?
Yeah, more than
Um,
likely.
so if they do get this, I would like to see kind of political involvement in this. I'm guessing villages will be on to hunt a. I mean, I would love to see this. The villages trying to hunt down Kawaki, or say if they find out Boruto's live, Boruto himself. This sets up a lot of conflict that can be um, used again in the future.
Yeah,
So
that's
I like the decision that Kishimoto went with
yeah,
this.
that's what I'm saying. Like it really helped to like set things up for like future conflict for the most part, especially on Kawaki's part, as I said, because like between chapters 56 and before this chapter, he was basically like reacting to everything. I mean, he tried taking initiative, but now
Yeah,
with Ishiki's power, he can actually decide, like play a big role in where the story goes, essentially. But as much as I'd love the political aspect and Five Kage Summit, we still actually have to make it out of this fight first because it's
yeah,
not over
that is
just yet.
true.
Yeah. Um, the only thing is, um, I could probably see some persons feeling Kawaki might like be in trouble with the village. Like we can know
Hmm.
after this, but like to a degree, I don't think it will be the case in the sense that yeah, probably Himawari and Hinata and Naruto and all those persons will be like, kind of mixed feelings on it. But between it being an agreement between Boruto and Kawaki, and then I'm sure characters like Sasuke and Shikamaru are gonna look at it like objectively and say, "Yo, I would have probably done the same thing," especially Sasuke.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
think he did bow to Boruto.
exactly. So I think,
Also with,
yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
go on. I was gonna say also with this is during the beginning of the chapter. I really love that they're focusing on Amado. Where I really think that he's gonna be as much as people. I mean, to an extent, I do like Code's character, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's that guy, right?
Not at least not right now.
Uh, yeah, at least not right now. Maybe in the future, sure. Um, he kind of reminds me of like early on Toby or Obito now, because he was very goofy, um uh, very like not really serious about the situation, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we know that Obito has a completely different situation, but um, Code, Amado said himself that he's very lackluster when it comes to taking initiative. He's
Mm-hmm.
depending. We can see that he's depending on Ada a lot. Um, he's very from a reader's aspect, he's not very philosophical. He just wants revenge, and he's a
Yeah.
quote unquote simp for Ishiki. Um, so building the setting stone for Amado, lurking in the shadows of Konoha, right? He's working uh, like detective secretly. So by having him be that guy is a very good way to, let's say, introduce well-written villains in the Boruto series.
Yeah. I definitely agree. All right, you're done. I'm gonna drop you for now because I don't want the stream to be
Yeah,
too long,
definitely.
just in case anybody else wants to join.
I
But
just want
respect
to
for
get
coming in,
one
man.
last.
Yeah,
I
man.
just
Go
want
ahead.
one last thing. Um, essentially, do you see this fight as the quote unquote the? Cause
The
is this like
The
essentially
Valley
the
at the end fight.
valiant end fight for Boruto and
um,
Kawaki?
I actually, well, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. That last one of those last clashes when they had like Boruto with the Rasengan and Kawaki with the hand, it definitely
Yeah,
rings home like the Naruto Sasuke Rasengan something clash. So it could really and truly be it. I mean, especially I can imagine once the anime gets like its hands on this, probably between all the canon anime canon stuff, maybe if they do some additional scenes between Boruto and Kawaki, they could probably make it more emotional than it actually is here in the manga, maybe. So I actually do
Yeah.
see it as the value at the end fight.
Yeah.
But not 100% the same, obviously, because yeah.
Mhm.
But all right, respect, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. No problem.
All right, man. Yeah. So, oh wow, Andrew D74064439. What's up?
Quite pretty.
I'm here, man. What's happening? All going.
Then, yeah, this chapter was alright for me.
It
Not
was alright
really
for you.
too out of the, too like a big thing for me. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that. What would I say now? Wouldn't say it's like barrier mode, Ishiki kind of excitement,
Yeah, I
but it is
understand. I
alright.
understand.
So the thing with Kawaki killing Boruto, quote unquote.
Quote
I
unquote.
think it's like you remember he said something about the last resort.
Mm-hmm.
You remember they were talking on the Hokage faces, and they were like
Yeah,
trying to
regarding
put the
potentially
karma
giving
on
code
code.
and code. Yeah.
So I'm wondering like if is like that's their plan actually, because like killing verge of death and like putting the
Um,
it could,
to be honest, I mean, it could. I'm not gonna rule it out, but at the same time, if that was still the plan, you would think they would probably put Code in a position to like land the finishing blow on Boruto, quote unquote. That's the only thing, though. Like, if I was going to like subscribe to that idea for the most part, like I'm more leaning along the lines of probably Boruto like either definitely asked him to kill him, or it's like a Madara situation where I'm gonna die but somehow revive or fake my death or along the lines of that and then leave the village.
but you think it's like oh it have to be the final blow, though,
Um,
are kind of verge of death. Like I'm dying, so I'm gonna put
that
this karma on you
that's the
quick.
thing. Like I would speculate, but like like for example, even with how say Momoshiki plays it on Boruto, like the whole specific. I think we're still missing some specifics of how it actually works. Honestly, so I couldn't even say yes or no, but not lie. Like
Well, let's say last resort, and they say it on the Hokage faces. All right, Boruto say like, yeah, I'm not really down for that, but we use it as a last resort.
sorry.
And the Kawaki say, and then Boruto say, look like we have to use this,
Yeah,
unfortunately. So probably is that we never hear them talking about actually killing.
killing Boruto. Yeah.
Kawaki say actually killing Boruto. So I would say it's probably that putting the karma on code. Or
Hmm.
probably even Sasuke might show up and he got. I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, I'm still on board for Sasuke showing up, but the way things are going, because I was
Yeah, where
expecting
is he
Sasuke for
though?
this
He's
chapter
not.
for the
I
most
don't
part.
think he's in the village,
No, no, I don't think he is either. He was on the outskirts when they were looking for code.
but near the village. So he's supposed to at least hear
Yeah,
some commotion or
or have an
probably
idea
like.
what's going on, or probably out of chakra.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who I don't know. I'm not the writing. All right, all jokes aside, but yeah, he should be close by. To be honest, I thought Sasuke would have actually shown up already because I thought the way things were progressing with this like string of chapters for the most part, I thought it would really lean up to like Boruto getting his the scar over his eye and all of that.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Well,
it's not.
but can't he Momoshiki heal like you have the karma you can heal the actually, but not that big a wound probably.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I mean, considering that the, I don't know if
Yeah,
because the
and this
percentage is
cartoon.
higher now for the karma like extraction. I don't know if the healing abilities Momoshiki has probably is better than like say before maybe.
Yeah, because it's scar to like how he gets a scar and he can actually heal. So kind of wonder how that going to work. Probably
Mm.
maybe the pill going to like I don't know.
That's the thing
Probably
coming out of these Boruto chapters,
nerf
number youths. It's
Borushiki
like
kind of.
it's still hard to predict sometimes how these chapters are going to go. Honestly,
Yeah.
honestly. But
Well,
because even with the
Boruto.
pills, I
Yeah,
was expecting it.
Boruto said that the pills kind of work.
Yeah, because I mean, he regained control. I mean, he even had control for a bit. So yeah, but they have that whole heart attack side effect. So hey,
I still leaning on the fact that he's going to put the karma and
on
code
code.
at
I,
somebody, because
mm,
he said if this don't work, we have to use that as a last resort.
yeah.
Then he said we're going to use this as the last resort. What they didn't talk about, which they didn't say anything about killing Boruto at all.
Alright, that's
And
true.
I
I mean, they could have
doubt
easily
Kawaki will
had it
do
off
this.
screen still, but I mean, if it does come to that, because I'm not leaning towards that, but if it does come to that, then it's me. I have no problem admitting that I was wrong. You know what I mean? But
Because I doubt Kawaki with just that kind of expression, just you know,
like,
blam,
just easily resolve a
just
kill Boruto.
cool.
So like,
Yeah,
it's like they have
just
something
like that.
planned. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
totally understand.
something. Yeah,
Because I think some person might look at the transition between, oh, okay, I have the karma now. Let me just wrap up everything and done. Like,
and I think Kawaki's plan was to actually kill Code, him not knowing about the karma. Wait, well, but still, even Kawaki probably didn't know about it. I don't know.
well, the way it's played up, I highly doubt he knew about it. Just seems like psychological manipulation by Amado,
Yeah,
which really does wonders for Amado's character. See, the thing is, like, a lot of times with these chapters, um, even like if, for you, you said it was just alright, but like for me, it's like when I break it down and all the little tidbits that I can get from it, that's what usually makes these chapters like really good for me. But
I'm not saying it's bad, but
no, no, I know, I
it's
know.
like it's worse, Just say, yeah, this is like a build up for me. It's not like mind blowing
Yeah,
because you know that Boruto is not going to die,
obviously.
as we see him in the
Or even if he dies, he's coming back, obviously.
yeah. So it's like only thing it's actually leaning to is like, okay, how this is going to go? Yeah, it's like wow. So you you can kill him, how he can come back. If you kill him,
Yeah.
how he's going to come back? Probably go back to the hidden leaf and Amado do something. It kind of I think I was thinking about it too, like Amado with all of the scientific thing, like you think when like Deepa, well, he's not really canon, but Deepa, Victor, um, Kashan, Koji, who else? Boro, Code, kind of lose something when they have these scientific ninja tools implanted in them, like lose some part of them. Because
More
I
than
think,
likely. I mean, it's still cybernetic enhancements, but yeah, more than likely. And I'm still looking forward to them exploring that because they still have to explore the whole what was the wish of each member. So
yeah,
yeah. But anyway, Andrew,
because,
I'm gonna drop you because I'm
yeah,
not plan for minutes long.
okay,
But
okay.
if you're available, because today is what, the 20th? I don't know. This is the first you're coming to my channel or
No, I'm a subscriber for a long time, bro.
oh, what did I say? Alright, well, alright then again. So more than likely either next week. Ooh,
Mm.
would it be next week Saturday? Yeah, I think either I'll let you guys know. But the end of month subscriber stream. If anything, if you have the time and you can roll in, then we can talk
Mm.
even more.
Man, dating, man.
Alright, respect, brother. Alright, let's see what's going on in the chat here. No. That could end up being Boruto's right hand man and form the new car with Delta, Aya, Daemon, and Cyborg Gang against Cruz, Konoha Elders, Prime Minister Amano's puppet Kawaki. Interesting. William, Wagwan man, welcome to the stream. I'm telling you, William, could end up being Boruto's. Serious. Caution will join new car of Boruto versus Amado. How many chapters do you want Boruto to be dead for? Considering it's monthly, I'm more along the lines of, let me see, February, March, April. I guess the rest of spring wasn't so bad. 3 chapters, even that's a long time for the most part. I think that should be enough time to probably, give some wiggle room for probably Sarada and Mitsuki. And then in terms of, well, 3 days. I was talking about like in terms of 3 months, 3 issues. But they could go for the symbolism with the 3 days. I mean, Naru Jesus, Boru Jesus. It's gonna be ridiculous in terms of the memes if they do that. Trust me, which I'm here for. Let's see. But what do you guys think in terms of Andrew's thoughts there on probably Boruto and Kawaki still going with the idea of placing like the karma seal on Code or something? Let me know what you guys think about that in the chat, because I'm interested in, if you guys subscribe to that. I mean, I'm not ruling it out, but to me, I'm more feeling the fake death, or my heart stopped for an extended period of time and then probably a day later my heart starts again, or something, something along the lines of that. I don't know, it could be the case. But I mean, at the same time, Andrew just brings up good points, because even like re-looking back at the chapter, how, I mean, it's Kawaki still no, so him even transitioning to say, oh, I'm just gonna do what I need to do to just sort out the situation based on my agreement with Boruto. But I don't know. Let me know. Walking on Sasuke's road. I don't like Sasuke. Yeah, that's the plan they talked about. Yeah, maybe. But all in all, for me personally, or even if I'm being objective, I thought this was at least an 8 out of 10 chapter. Honestly, like, again, you have to really like pick apart the chapter, like outside of just going through the fights and Boruto dying. Sometimes you gotta look at how chapters set up things for like future events, like how it plays a bigger role in affecting the chapters before and after. So I thought this was really good, honestly. Hold on, how far are you planning to go? Oh my god, just like Code loving Ishiki so much, Boruto really loves Sasuke. That's maybe the reason I Code and Boruto will be the best friends. Who knows, maybe chapter was good, but I still have a few critiques. First of all, where the heck is Sasuke? Second one, yeah, I have to also get just in there. Guys, like up the video. 17 persons here now. Leave a like. If it's just, I'm getting tongue twisted here. If it's the first time you're here, of course, subscribe and thing. And of course, above all else, I appreciate the support. Chapter was good. Yeah, I am also wondering where Sasuke is. Yeah, we were talking about Siddiqui. If you're still here, he was mentioning it in the chat earlier that Naruto seems like the Sakura right now. I think just like Code loving Ishiki, yada, or the love Sasuke. I think we might. I don't know if I would really go with that parallel between Boruto looking up to Sasuke. I think the way Code looks up to Ishiki is not necessarily the same how Boruto looks up to Sasuke, isn't it? So I don't know if they'll really explore that parallel. I think just like Code having Ishiki so much, if Boruto is dead, would you like him to meet his uncle and grandparent in the afterworld? They could probably temporarily explore like the pure world, if anything. For a bit, that would be nice. before he's brought back. Maybe through, I don't know, with how crazy things have gotten from like the start of Naruto till now. I wouldn't be surprised if they come up with some kind of excuse because like the Otsutsuki DNA and the nature of the Otsutsuki can probably explore the pure world or something like that and meet persons and dead. Not bring them back, but Izumi. That would be interesting. Or should Kakashi meet his dad? Yeah. Where's Kakashi? Is he on a never-ending vacation with the rest of the old crew? Honestly, yeah, I think that's one of the gripes that a lot of persons have with the Boruto manga specifically in terms of where's Kakashi, where's X character, where's X character. I mean, even with Boruto's generation, like a lot of the anime, quote unquote anime only characters in Boruto's generation aren't even in the manga, much less. So if this is their generation and they're not even getting that much spotlight in the manga, it's hard to say. I mean, can anybody really believe? Can you even really expect to see Kakashi and those characters right now? I don't know. As I've said time and time again, the Boruto manga just seems to like it's like barely managing to juggle only a certain subset of characters. So it's like, what can you do? I'm hoping things could change for the time skip, but it depends on how long Kishi wants to make this. And of course, in the grand scheme of things, they can make use of the anime to make changes to the story and include these characters more so once they get to this portion of the story, if anything. So yeah, you have to look at it like that. Yo, Kawaki is broken, bro. Sukuna Ikona Daikokuten is Shiki's overall, well, what we can safely assume to be Shiki's overall strength. The fact that he's even keeping up with Momoshiki for the most part, like, obviously, I mean, even in some parts, it even seems like he's pressing Momoshiki. So, honestly, it's serious. But anyway, guys, if anything, the stream will be going back up once I end it, so you can leave the rest of your comments. Of course, thanks for everyone for coming out. Of course, I need to go and stuff my face with some food because because it's that. Naturally, we'll be having the end of month subscriber live stream. I haven't decided on if it's gonna be next week Friday, Saturday, or Sunday just yet because I was kind of considering going home, like leaving the quote-unquote studio, so I'm not sure just yet. But if that's the case, worst case scenario, if that's the case, then I might have it on the Thursday, but I'll let you guys know. I on that Boruto plan to karma to Code because Code will be relevant to the rest of the story and that got cut like Shiki and the rest of Kara so quick. Yeah, there could be that. Granted, I'm one of the persons that feel, even though Code isn't the guy now, as we were saying earlier, more than likely it's going to be a case where he's going to get some major push or developments later on, more than likely. So I guess we'll see. But all in all, solid chapter. Of course, thanks for tuning in, guys. For those of you who probably rewatched it and watched everything to this point, respect for coming out. Leave a like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below once the video goes back up, and I'll see you in the 1,000,001 Boruto discussions that we probably will have leading up to chapter 67. Hope you guys are having an awesome year so far too. So yeah, see you guys in the next Boruto video.